This is Dalian, a coastal city in northeastern China known for its bustling port and stunning beaches. Now, this city is gearing up to make history by building the world's largest artificial island airport, Dalian Jinzhou Bay International Airport. Right now, Hong Kong's airport holds the crown, but not for long. China's coming in hot with a 20 square kilometer engineering marvel. Just imagine you're at Hong Kong International, marveling at its 12.48 square kilometers of brilliance. Impressive, right? Now imagine standing on a man-made island, nearly twice as big, featuring 4 massive runways and a terminal the size of a small city. That's what Dalian promises, a next-level airport that will make you rethink what's possible. But it's not just about size, it's about rewriting the playbook. From groundbreaking design to pushing technological limits, this airport is set to become a global icon. So, are you ready to explore just how this mega project is changing the game? Well, let's dive in. If we talk about post-pandemic air travel, China has experienced an incredible rebound. The country's aviation sector is on fire, and 2024 was set to be a milestone year with over 700 million passengers expected to travel, smashing pre-pandemic levels. That 700 million passenger mark is a 14% increase over the previous year, and this rapid growth is pushing China to reach 1 billion annual passengers by the end of the decade. With this explosion in air travel demand, the country is making sure it's ready for the ride. China is investing big time in its airport infrastructure with over 260 airports currently in operation and 22 more being built with a jaw-dropping $20 billion in funding. But one airport stands out in this massive upgrade: Dalian Jinzhou International Airport. This is no ordinary airport. It's about to become the world's largest artificial island airport. Now let's dive into why this is such a huge deal. Dalian is a coastal city located on the southern tip of the Liaodong Peninsula in northeast China, and it's gearing up to take its place on the world stage. The city, with a population of about 8 million people, is known for its mild climate and beautiful beaches, making it a popular tourist spot. But it's not just the sandy shores that make Dalian special. It's also its strategic location near South Korea and Japan. Dalian's position has turned it into a major hub for shipping, logistics, and transportation, a role it's been playing for centuries. Today, Dalian is connected to over 300 ports in 160 countries, making it a key player in international trade. The city's current airport, Dalian Zhou International Airport, or DLC, has a long and fascinating history. It wasn't always a civilian airport. In fact, it started as a military airfield nearly a century ago during Japanese occupation. After World War II, Soviet forces took control of the airport for 10 years, and in 1955, it was handed over to the Chinese PLA Air Force. It wasn't until 1973 that the airport transitioned to civilian use, and since then, it has steadily grown. Today, it's the busiest airport in northeast China, with over 400 flights a day serviced by 40 domestic and international airlines. But even though DLC has served the region well, it's starting to show its age. The airport was never built to handle the volume of passengers it sees today, and with growing demand for air travel, its location within the city limits makes expansion tricky. That's where the new Dalian Jinzhou International Airport comes into play. This new airport is not only going to relieve some of the pressure on DLC, but it's also set to redefine what an airport can be. So what makes Jinzhou International Airport so special? Well, let's start with the fact that it's being built on an artificial island. Yeah, you heard me right, an island. The airport is being developed on a 20 square kilometer island, which is nearly double the size of Hong Kong International Airport's artificial island itself. The island will house not just 1 but 4 massive runways designed to accommodate a huge increase in air traffic. The terminal itself is going to be massive, with the capacity to handle up to 70 million passengers annually. Now, that's a huge leap from DLC, which serves just a fraction of that number. This airport isn't just about size, it's about innovation. Building on an artificial island isn't easy, and it requires advanced land reclamation techniques. But the engineering teams working on Jinzhou are up for the challenge. They've had to take into account the region's unique weather conditions, including typhoons and earthquakes. The airport is being built to withstand these natural challenges and provide a safe, resilient hub for travelers. The terminal is going to be a high-tech marvel. It will be equipped with cutting-edge technology to make the travel experience smoother and faster. For example, passengers will be able to check in through automated systems, speeding up the process and reducing wait times. Biometric security systems will help ensure that getting through customs and security is quick and hassle-free. And when it comes to luggage handling, it will be practically taken care of on its own. Sustainability is also a major focus in the airport's design, with solar panels and other green technologies powering the airport's operations. This is an airport that's not just future-proof, but also environmentally friendly. The impact of this new airport goes far beyond just the travel experience. Once completed, Jinzhou International Airport will be a game-changer for Dalian and the surrounding region. It will create thousands of jobs, boost tourism, and provide new opportunities for businesses to thrive. Dalian, already a key player in trade and logistics, will further cement its position as a global transportation hub. With better air connectivity, the city will become even more attractive to international investors and businesses looking to expand into China. The airport also ties into China's larger plans to strengthen its role in global trade. Dalian Jinzhou International Airport will play a critical role in China's Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to connect China with Europe, Africa, and the rest of the world through improved infrastructure and trade links. By improving air access between China and other regions, this airport will help facilitate the flow of goods, services, and people, making Dalian an even more important piece in the global trade puzzle. Dalian itself is already a major hub for air travel. It's home to Dalian Airlines, which is partly owned by Air China, and China Southern Airlines, which has a significant presence in the city. Dalian Airlines serves 24 domestic destinations with a fleet of 13 Boeing 737-800s, while China Southern connects Dalian to multiple destinations in Japan. The busiest international route from Dalian is Seoul, just an hour away by flight. But with Jinzhou opening, the city will likely see an expansion in its international connections, giving passengers even more options for travel to and from the region. One of the big advantages of the new airport is its capacity to accommodate more international flights. With 4 runways and a large modern terminal, the airport will be able to handle not just the increased passenger numbers, but also a broader range of international routes. This will make Dalian a more accessible destination for travelers from around the world and provide even more choices for people flying to and from China. Whether you're heading to one of the city's famous beaches or conducting business in one of China's most important shipping hubs, this airport will be your gateway. Now, I know you must be thinking, what's the need for another airport? Isn't the current one enough? Well, buckle up because this is where things get really interesting. The current airport in Dalian has been stretched to its absolute limits. Over the years, it's undergone multiple expansions, 5 to be exact, the last one taking place between 2011 and 2012. The problem here is the airport is now completely surrounded by urban development and there's no room left to grow. On top of that, it only has 1 runway, which is now fully utilized, and there's absolutely no possibility of adding more capacity to meet the growing demand. By 2016, the airport had already reached its maximum capacity, and the need for a new airport was very clear. However, building a new airport isn't as simple as just picking a spot on the map and putting up some terminals. Dalian's location on a peninsula surrounded by water on 3 sides poses a significant challenge. There's simply no available land that's large enough to accommodate an airport of the required size. Not only that, but Dalian is situated in a valley surrounded by mountains, making it even more difficult to expand or improve the current airport's operations, especially when the weather takes a turn for the worse. So after years of planning and facing these geographical hurdles, the decision was made. The new airport would be built on an artificial island in Jinzhou Bay, located to the north of the city center. This is a game changer as it will completely replace the existing airport, making Dalian Jinzhou International Airport the primary hub for the region, and here's the kicker. It'll inherit the same IATA airport code DLC, ensuring a seamless transition. However, the road to building this new airport hasn't exactly been easy. Construction has faced delays, largely due to a combination of waiting for national government approvals and, more recently, the impact of the global pandemic. Originally planned to open in 2020, the airport's grand debut has been postponed several times, but now, with construction in full swing, let's take a closer look at what's happening on this incredible new artificial island. The land reclamation process to create the artificial island began way back in 2011, but it wasn't until a few years later that national government approval was finally granted. Fast forward to 2024, and the island is now a massive 21 square kilometers, making it the largest artificial island airport in the world. This is no small feat, and the fact that the reclamation is complete opens the doors for even more construction. The island is now solid enough for the foundation of the terminal building, and the groundwork for the airport is well underway. In the first phase of construction, the focus is on building an impressive 400,000 square meter terminal, which will be a major hub for both passengers and cargo. Artist renderings show a sleek triangular concourse flowing towards 6 piers with more than 60 gates throughout the terminal. 2 3,600 meter long runways will also be added in this phase. With an initial capacity of 43 million passengers and 650,000 tons of cargo annually, this will be a major leap forward for Dalian's aviation infrastructure. But that's not all. Phase 2 will bring even more impressive upgrades. The terminal will be expanded to a jaw-dropping 900,000 square meters or 969,000 square feet, with 2 additional runways added to the airport's layout. When everything is finished, Dalian Jinzhou International Airport will be able to handle a whopping 80 million passengers and 1 million tons of cargo each year. Now let's talk about the budget. The entire project is expected to cost around $4.3 billion, but due to the delays and the sheer scale of the construction, there's a strong possibility that this number will increase. Li Zhang, the chief engineer behind the airport's development, has explained just how challenging this project is. Not only does the team have to deal with complex geological conditions, but they also have to construct over 3,000 rock-embedded piles to support the airport structure. These piles are 3 times larger than those used for typical land-based airports, making the construction process even more difficult. Yet, despite these challenges, the team is pushing forward with a strict timeline to ensure that Dalian's new airport is up and running as soon as possible. As for the opening date, things are still up in the air. While the first phase of construction is officially scheduled to be completed by 2026, some believe it could take until 2035 before the airport is fully operational. Given the importance of this project and the urgency of the situation, though, it's likely that authorities will do everything in their power to speed up the process. But Dalian is not the only city in the region where artificial island airports have become a reality. Hong Kong, Macau, and Japan have all embarked on similar projects, showcasing the growing trend of building airports in the ocean. Hong Kong International Airport, for example, opened in 1998 and remains the largest artificial island airport in the world, covering a massive 12.5 square kilometers. With over 75 airlines operating out of the airport and more than 40 million passengers flying through it in 2023, it's clear that artificial island airports are not just a novelty, they're an essential part of modern aviation infrastructure. Macau International Airport, another notable example, opened in 1995 and was built on an artificial island adjacent to Taipa Island. Despite being smaller than Hong Kong's airport, it serves as a vital hub for the region and is an important link between mainland China and Taiwan. Meanwhile, Kansai International Airport in Japan, which opened in 1994, is Japan's largest artificial island airport and the primary international gateway for the greater Osaka area. These airports have proven that building airports on artificial islands is not only feasible, but also highly effective in addressing the growing demands of modern air travel. And with Dalian Jinzhou International Airport now under construction, it's clear that China is ready to join this exclusive club of cities with world-class artificial island airports. So, what do you think about China's ambitious plans to build the world's largest artificial island airport in Dalian? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.